What's going on? My name is FreeRunnerX10 and welcome to a brand new video. So today I thought I'd check out a free-to-play online first-person shooter called Zula. Now Zula is no means a brand new free-to-play online first-person shooter. I think it's been out for a year, but it hasn't been available on Steam. It's got a big audience, a big Turkish audience, a big Turkish following because it is a Turkish game and it's quite popular over in Turkey. However, it's recently been released on Steam for Europe. I don't know who can actually play it in Europe, whether certain countries are excluded from this, but I presume the majority of Europe can actually play this game. It's available on Steam and the link is in the description below. Now, as of the time of recording this narration voiceover, the game file size is around 1.5 gigabytes, so it shouldn't take people too long to download, especially if you've got a really bad connection. If you've got a really bad connection like me, it should take you around about an hour to download, give or take. So Zula can be described as a free-to-play online first-person shooter. It's a generic free-to-play online first-person shooter. They've got some interesting ideas and concepts which they've brought together from various other games like Counter-Strike, Call of Duty and Battlefield. So we're going to go over a few things. Now Zula is obviously your standard like lobby-based free-to-play online first-person shooter. You've got various different game modes like Team Deathmatch, Search and Destroy, Capture the Flag, Free-for-all, and a few other various different game modes that I haven't had time to explore. Bearing in mind I've only got like 2 hours played on this, I just had a quick play session, and for the most part it's enjoyable. I'm not saying it's a bad generic free-to-play online first-person shooter, it's pretty good, but it is a free-to-play online first-person shooter and it's something that you've probably seen before. Now, as for the graphics of this game, the game doesn't look particularly good. It looks okay, I'm not saying it's bad, but it's nothing amazing. Don't expect amazing graphics. This can run on pretty much any computer. It's on par with CSGO, but not by much. But it does look pretty nice, and I guess if you are into something that looks decent, then you'll probably enjoy this. I mean, it's not about the aesthetics, it's about the gameplay. Now, as for the gameplay is interesting as far as Team Deathmatch is concerned, because that's probably one of the most played casual game modes. It's interesting how this game actually performs, because you get the feel when you first start playing this game it's like CS, it's like Crossfire, it's kind of like Combat Arms, only you're not jumping around as much, and you get that kind of feel. And then you press the right mouse button and then you aim down your iron sight, which is pretty interesting. So in this game, no matter what gun you've got, you can always aim down an iron sight. So for example, if you buy a gun with a red dot on it, you can aim down the red dot sight, which I find pretty interesting. With games like Combat Arms, you have an iron sight gun which you can't aim down sight on at all, and you'd have to buy a gun with an actual red dot hollow sight or actually attach a scope onto it in order to actually aim down sight. So that's pretty interesting. What I also find odd is the fact that the actual system itself, the gunplay system, is a bit weird. There is recoil in this, but it's random. It's so random, it's weird. So good luck with that. I don't know if there's any first bullet accuracy, but the actual system itself for recoil is random, like I said. So I don't know, some situations are just based off random numbers and figures, which is kind of silly. They want to try and push this game to be some kind of, I guess, esports. It's not exactly going to be an esports, but they want to have a competitive sort of, I guess, ESL thing with this. I don't know how that's going to work. As far as competitive modes are concerned, though, they've basically just got Search and Destroy. Now, for me, Search and Destroy doesn't make sense because of the way the game's actually set up, because it's a free-to-play online first-person shooter. So, in a Search and Destroy game mode, everyone has a bomb who's on the sort of terrorist side, who's on the plant the bomb side, and they can go to A or B bomb site and plant it. Now, you've got some maps which are from CS. You've got a Dust 2 clone, or carbon copy of Dust 2. It's basically the Dust 2 layout, but it's been retextured. And you've got an Inferno layout, which has also been retextured, but I've yet to play that. And I've played Dust 2 though. It looks pretty good, but again, it's Dust 2. But some of the maps that the devs have actually made for this game aren't exactly ideal for competitive play. They're not designed in the way the CS maps are designed, which are for competitive play and are for that game, and they make sense. The map I played on to play Search and Destroy was quite open. There were lots of different angles to cover, and to be honest, to play that on Search and Destroy as a competitive game mode would be ridiculous. But I guess they're going to go with that. What I find interesting is the fact that there's no kind of economy in the Search and Destroy game mode. It's basically just you take in 4 loadouts, and you go for it, and that's pretty much it. Bearing in mind you can only have 1 grenade on at one time, so that means you could either have a frag grenade on, smoke grenade, or flashbang. You can't like buy a smoke grenade, 2 flashes, and a grenade like you can in CS. There's no kind of buying mechanics, there's no economy, there's no actually having to have one person have the bomb and try and protect them because they've got the bomb. There's no chance of losing the bomb and then the other team basically securing the bomb. What I find most of the time is that the attacking team for most of the search and destroy maps gets onto the site pretty easily. They are, in some maps, the one that I played on anyway, you spawn pretty close to the bomb sites. You spawn closer to the bomb sites than the CT side, which is quite interesting. So it's basically CT playing retake all the time, but most of the time it just turns into a deathmatch. There's no actual planting the bomb most of the time and trying to push into the site and defuse it. Not that there are sites, it's inside a couple of buildings, that's it, whoop-de-doo. It's nothing spectacular. Something I find interesting is also you've got like these like special things that you can take into combat. They're kind of pay to win in the sense because they do cost a lot of money, so you'd have to be constantly playing Zula in order to buy all of them just to play in a competitive environment. So basically what they are is, in CS obviously if you press the buy menu you can buy Kevlar helmet and defuse kit. Well, in this you kind of have it as like a perk. You also have like a fast reloading perk. There's a more XP and more cash, I believe, perk. But yeah, you have a Kevlar vest and Kevlar helmet sort of perk, which gives you extra armor, and you have a defuse kit perk, and they cost quite a bit of money to maintain. Bearing in mind that the cash shop is something which is like a generic free-to-play online first-person shooter, like Crossfire and like Combat Arms. You can't buy permanent weapons, even with the actual microtransaction. Zula caches it, I believe. You can only rent weapons for 24 hours, which is a day, 7 days, or a month, and that's it. And I've seen actual not pay to win, but I guess pay to get loads of shit fast. I've seen that in the game, and you can buy like a pack full of weapons for 30 days at the price of like £70, which is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. If you buy that, you are in some ways challenged in some way. There's also a thing that you can do to upgrade your weapons. I'm not entirely sure what that does, because you basically unlock these, like, I guess, parts. They're not individual parts, you know, like a suppressor or a scope. They're just random parts. They're called parts. You get like gold, titanium and bronze or something, and then you try and upgrade your gun, and then if you fail you get your gun's sort of like expiry time extended. It's weird, it's not explained. I can't find any information online about it in English, which sucks because obviously this game is mainly made for a Turkish fan base, and yeah, that kind of just adds to it. Right now I feel like it's not pay to win, it seems like it's pay to progress, but that could change. I don't really know because I haven't seen anyone using, or anyone who's bought any of the sort of buy with real money packages which last for 30 days, because I don't think a majority of the people who are going to play this game are really going to play it for that long. But if it is something you want to pick up and play and just have a bit of fun with, then I recommend you give this game a go, because it is quite fun for what it is. Like I said, it's Counter-Strike, Call of Duty aim down sight. Something that I find a little bit odd about it though is just the random level design. You've got 2 good maps, which are Counter-Strike maps, Dust 2 and Inferno, obviously renamed and reskinned, but it's those maps layouts basically just redone, which is good. But a lot of the other maps have just been designed from, well, someone's designed them and they're not particularly great. They're not designed for that type of gameplay, so I guess they need to be looked at in some regards because they're not exactly great. Competitive mode doesn't make sense. Having some kind of esports or I guess competitive scene revolving around this game doesn't make sense because there's no actual competitive element to it unless you count the search and destroy mode, which is stupid because you have to actually spend a lot of time playing the game to get a defuse kit for CT side, and then you have to spend a lot of time to get Kevlar or whatever the bulletproof vest perk is for both sides. So I don't know, it would be a time consuming game and it would be easier to spend money to actually unlock those, but again, they're only for a time period and the max you can obviously rent those out for is 30 days, which is quite ridiculous. Also, something that's a bit concerning is the fact that some of the gun sounds seem to be ripped from other games, mainly Battlefield. I'm hearing gun sounds which sound like they're from Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4, which is a bit worrying, so that's not too great, but again, Steam Greenlight lets anything through. I'm not saying that obviously this is a bad first-person shooter. It's okay for what it is. Free-to-play online first-person shooter, 1.5 gigabytes in file size, so it's a pretty decent sized, pretty fun free-to-play online first-person shooter. Doesn't seem paid to win as of yet, but that may change, and I haven't played enough to actually notice anything that's paid to win, because the people who are playing it are mainly people who have just started playing it, so they've got all of these GP weapons, and I don't think they've decided to actually spend some real money on this game, because I don't know whether they want to carry on playing that game. I recommend that you don't spend money on this game because of the way it's set up, because what's the point in spending $70 if you get the weapons for 30 days? That just doesn't make sense to me. If it was permanent, that'd be something that's different, but it's not. And I'm presuming that these ones that you can buy for 30 days with real money in a package, because they don't seem to be in the store, could actually be a little bit buffed. I don't know though. I can't check any stats of those because they're just in a package. That the package tells you what you get for what price, but doesn't give you any stats of the weapons, which is a bit odd to me. Also, something I find a little odd about the game is the kill accolades. So kill accolades are things where you get kills and it basically notifies you about getting kills. For example, a headshot kill will say headshot, or double kill, multi-kill, ultra kill. Now this game's a bit weird because it goes, I'm not sure what it goes entirely, but it goes double kill, I believe it goes triple, and then some other things. But then you start getting kills after kill, and then it starts calling you a serial killer. Now I get what it's trying to say, you're getting loads of kills in one go, but that's a bit weird. You know, most games do that subtly. They're like monster kill, rampage in Dota's case, you know, double kill, multi kill, ultra kill, fantastic plus, unbelievable, you know, that kind of thing. But this seems to go down a route that I don't like. I don't like it saying that I'm a serial killer. I don't know whether that's just me, but I just find that a bit odd. It kind of just seems like that a satire joke that Rockstar makes in their games about first-person shooter games like Call of Duty. You'll see Jimmy in his bedroom playing a first-person shooter game which is like Call of Duty, where he's got a poo stick and it says the M word to do with sexually abusing someone. I'm not too fond of it saying serial killer, but I presume you can disable that. I haven't really looked into the options too much. Also, on the subject of kill accolades, I noticed a lot of people in the review section on the Steam page basically saying that, oh, I see a headshot icon when I get a kill, so I must be getting a headshot every time I kill someone, which isn't true. Basically, when you get a kill, you see a headshot icon and you think you've got a headshot, but it's not. It's the kill icon, and that doesn't make sense. That needs to be changed, because you do get headshots. It shows it in the kill feed that you killed a player with what gun, and it shows you a headshot icon and the player name. That's how you know you've got a headshot. Also, the kill accolade for a headshot is completely different. You've got like headshot, headhunter, and a lot of people seem to be confused by the fact that when they get a normal kill by shooting someone in the chest and it comes up with a headshot kill accolade, they think they've got a headshot. I don't know why. They must be complete and utterly stupid, but that's something that maybe can be changed to, you know, favor the people who don't understand what's going on, even though it's clear that they didn't get a headshot, and it's clear when you do get a headshot. They're just getting confused between two kill accolades that look similar. So I'd change the normal kill accolade. Another thing I find odd about Zula is the progression system. Now in Zula you have levels, so you play a game, you get experience, then you level up. I'm not sure what the max level cap is, but every time you level up you unlock rewards. Now these rewards are basically timed rewards. Now instead of them going to an inbox system like Combat Arms, or I believe Crossfire does this, but mainly Combat Arms, instead of going to an inbox system where when you want to use that reward and activate it and use the time on it, the 7 days or the however long that item lasts for, it is instantly started. So basically if you level up to 10 levels, you're going to unlock all of these like free weapons that you can use for either 60 minutes or a day, and that's pretty much it. I haven't unlocked anything that's been over a day, and those things just expire very quickly. So I unlocked the fast reloading perk, I unlocked the Kevlar helmet, and that only was going to last me 60 minutes of actually being unlocked. It's not in-game time, it's when you unlock it. So if you unlock something or buy something for a day, basically the next day that thing will disappear even if you haven't used it. So that's something to be careful of. That's what happens in most free-to-play online first-person shooters, but most free-to-play online first-person shooters that have a reward-based system and a progression system will actually send them to your inbox where you can activate those rewards when you want to, meaning you don't use all of these rewards up in one go, and you can have a steady flow of guns while you use them to hopefully get money in order to rent more guns in the future if you want to carry on playing the game. Other than that, the game is pretty decent. I really like it. It's a lot of fun. Hopefully it doesn't get too heavily pay to win, but that's always a chance that that's going to happen if they want to make some money, because obviously at the end of the day they are a business, it is a free-to-play game, and they need to make some money somehow to keep the game running. So yeah, it is a lot of fun. You should check it out. Links are in the description below. Map design is okay if it's a CS map, but other than that, the maps that have been designed by the developers and the people who are actually making the game, not too great. They could be tweaked up a little bit, made a little bit better, and if you're going to make this into some kind of esports or competitive game that people are going to play competitively, at least make a competitive mode which is separate from normal team deathmatch and the casual modes, which makes sense and is actually competitive, because it's just a casual free-to-play online first-person shooter with search and destroy, and then you're calling it competitive. The fact that you can't buy Kevlar helmets and actual defuse kits is stupid. You should change that up completely. Maybe if you're going to go down the route of copying CS and COD, you should actually maybe you know, add some kind of skill to it, you know, where you actually, not everyone has the bomb, you know, one person has the bomb and you have to protect them, they're the MVP kind of thing. But it's up to the devs and what the community wants for this game, I guess, if there is a community for this game. I believe there is, but it's mainly Turkish. Other than that, you know, it's a decent game if you would like to check it out. As always, link is in the description below. I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, if you did, hit that like button, and also if you did, however, dislike this video, there's also the dislike button. But as always, I will see you in my next video.